it simple for all these, we're going to be looking at C to F just from the Casey Jones, right? The first one is something that gives your chord, it's a little extra edge, has a little more personality to it. It's something Bob does all the time. So easy. It is adding a minor third to the major third. So if you take a major chord like this, and we're just thinking about the K system here, we got our E shape. If you don't know it already, it's just, it's just an acronym, C-A-G-E-D. For the open chords, here's our E shape. Instead of like that, we got it here, slide it up to the 8th fret, and there is a C in the E shape. And then we have F in the A shape, right? So we'll just be sticking with these for now. And our major third is right here. And then if you just take this finger off, there's our minor third. And then just hammering it down a lot of times. Adds so much movement, so easy, but a lot of times Bob wasn't playing the full chord like that. I was just playing the middle strings or, whatever. We'll look at more variations, but right now you can just play the middle 4 strings. So you got this, you have to kind of bar down there. Right? And then for the F, I forgot, best way to do it for this is to play it this way, the G shape, right? Move it up here. And here is our third on the bottom. So it's the major third of F. And then here's our minor third. It's going to be always 1 fret lower. So that's very different than just going. So it's so simple, but it really adds a little movement, and it's much more Bob-like and just all around, great. You can hear the difference right away if you add this to your own playing. It's, again, just find those shapes, find those thirds, 1 fret below, hammer it on in there, just work out the fingering, how you're going to do it, and it'll work, And if you're familiar with the cage system, you'll see how this kind of slips the shapes right into what you already know. So if you want a simple system for it, I have a cage system cheat sheet. You can grab it in the link in the description right down below. So the next one here is something I do all the time when I'm playing, is really open things up. Let's hear an example of it, and I'll show you what's going on. So this is breaking the chords up into triads. So if we just stick with our example here, if we look at the top 3 strings, that would be a triad. That is just a tri, meaning 3. It's the 3 notes that make up the chord. So in a C chord, you have C, E, and G. Those are the only 3 notes in there. You play these 6 strings. They're just, you're doubling things up. Here's a C, here's a C, here's a C. So 3 times, and here's an E, here's an E. So you got, 3 Cs, 2 E's, 2 G's and an E, right? But you only need 1 of each. So right here is a triad. Here is a triad. It's just the same notes, but the C's on the bottom. This time it's on top. These are a triad. These bottom 3 are not. It's actually a power chord. But find those triads where they are. So you got this one, and this one. And then for the F, you've got these 3 right here. And you can also play these 3 right here. So first time through, I was playing these 3. And then to this, smoothly goes there, right? And then the next time through, I went higher up, gave a little more energy to this one. Another smooth. You can also throw on hammer-ons, all kind of stuff. And it makes you much more targeted with what you're doing, and it makes switching chords a lot smoother. And then you can do things like be more melodic and intentional, and also raise the energy by, like I did, I said, play it here the first time through, second time through, up there. So much more alive than just playing the full chords. It also cuts through the mix better and sits in that mix much better, especially when there's a lot of instruments going on rather than just playing these giant full chords. I rarely play big full bar chords and things like that. And it's also easier too. Your finger can get tired, especially playing acoustic barring down. So this way you just got your fingers much more loose. And if you want to take it even further about removing notes and playing less, check out the next example. rhythm playing, it stops being like just background, and it starts almost being, could be a little bit lead, but it starts kind of weaving into the song itself, which was perfect when Bob was playing with the Dead and weaving around Jerry. This is a thing called sixth. I talk about this all the time because I love sixth so much. Probably use them in my own playing even more than Bob. And that is, it's an interval. It's a distance between two notes. So from here to here, that would be called a sixth, right? And there's this kind and there's that kind. So there's a minor sixth, this is a major sixth. And in this particular case, look at this same shape again. If you take this triad, and you just take out the middle note, that would be a sixth, right? And if we took out the F right here, just this triad, take out the middle one, that would be a sixth. So there's these ways that you can play up and down the scales with sixths, but there's ways that are even easier, more targeted, where you just play the notes of the chords. So a really easy way to do it is to look at right here. This one right here, if you just look at that top note of the chord, right? That, and then if you slide it up to here, this is going to be, it's like playing the top part of a C, open C, right? Like, just in this case, up an octave, which that sounds like, I'm spacing right now, it's some Beatles song there. Basically, let me know in the comments. You know it. You know it is. If I think about it long enough, it'll come to me. But once you get these under your fingers and in your ears, you'll start hearing sixth in music just, all the time. So from here to here, and then you can just throw that one in the middle too if you wanted to. You can even go right in a row there. But really from here to here, that is going to be part of a C chord. That's part of a C chord. And of course, this isn't just for C. You can do it for G. You can start just using this pattern just anywhere, And then for the F, if you think about this shape right here, this is a C shape right here. This, so when you play it up to C, those two right there, that's a sixth. So this one right here, up to here. And what do you know? It's different strings, different parts of different shapes, but it's the same sixth shape. Right? And then I think I did that one time. I ended, instead of here, just staying the same strings. And this is the same thing to come back to the C. But that's, scaling it down even more. You can start by playing these big, full bar chords, picking in little pieces of it, playing specific triads, then playing sixths. But these are things that I picked up from listening to Bob's playing that I use now in my own playing all the time. And I just do it my own way. And I just try to, simplify it, like looking at it like that. You can do it much faster than you think. Just spend a little bit of time working out, where things are and how you want to use it. And the next thing you know, it'll be part of your own playing. And these 3 different techniques or approaches, it's a great start to making your rhythm sound more like Bob's, make it more musical, like more creative, just more alive. But if you want to go even further into a method Bob uses all the time that really just ties it all together, check out this video right here. It's a simple move that's sure to level up your playing in a big way.